Hi everyone, welcome to Fortuna, Costa Rica. That is where I am right now. Yes, those are volcanoes behind me. Hopefully not too active during our visit. I'm gonna try and aim it so you can see them. And I'm just waiting for my 3 other vegan friends to finish settling in, and we're gonna go hopping around town. Costa Rica has been on my list for a long time. I've always wanted to come here, and it just never worked out for whatever reason. And as much as I know you'd like to see my face, I think you'd rather see this incredible backdrop as I talk about it. I will cut out of here as soon as my friends text me that they're ready, but I just wanted to take this moment to share with you some of the breathtaking views that I am able to see. There was just a few minutes ago just a burst of light that was like rays of light that were coming down through the break in the clouds as you can see them. I'm just trying to aim this a little bit more accurately so you can really see. This is about the 3rd floor of the place, the Airbnb where I'm staying, and they have put these really cool swings up on the roof so we can see them. Our friends are staying over there. There's another unit down below where they are hanging out, and the swing is just so cool as a way to relax. You know, being vegan, being in your senior years as I am, planning a vacation is not what it used to be. And I'm very lucky to have younger friends, one of whom is my boyfriend, who had no idea I was 15 years older than him. And hanging out with younger people, certainly there's more energy, I think, and more initiative for planning things. You know, right now, I guess I kind of have this feeling sometimes of just, I don't want to do all the planning that I used to do 15 or 20 years ago. But Costa Rica is a very vegan-friendly country, and we had just come from 3 hours away where we were doing other activities. We were by a coffee plantation, and even though I've stopped drinking coffee, I did actually allow myself to imbibe a little bit. Okay, just got the message. Our friends are ready. We'll continue this. Okay, the best laid plans. I was going to record videos throughout my trip, but it was a vacation. I finally just had to toss the phone and just take still pictures with my wonderful phone where I could snap away while, and I love the new iPhone 16 Pro Max that I have because I was able to walk these really steep steps and roads, pathways at the different volcanoes and places we went to, while there was one guy who had this big long Nikon lens, and he was having to stop everywhere and try and position it, while I was just walking away snapping with the very accessible shutter and mechanisms of the camera, so I didn't have to do any of that, as you will see, I hope, in the rest of this video. But anyway, we left, we went to the hot springs and at the volcano in Fortuna, which was really wonderful. But the pollution there was so bad from automobile exhaust that it really marred our experience. And our friends, we went with this other couple that I mentioned, much younger than us, and they were just complaining constantly about how bad the fumes were, and they didn't want to sit outside anywhere when we ate, so we had to sit in the back of these dark places where we went to. And so, to make a long story short, we ended up separating from the couple about midway through the trip for a number of reasons that I won't go into, other than to say we took this one trip down a river where there were actually there were crocodiles, not alligators. We have alligators in Florida, crocodiles in Costa Rica, and it was a raft trip. It was beautiful, and our friend decided to stand up in the middle of the raft and say, "Crocodile!" And everybody jumped back. And it was a small raft. It was just us and the guide. And if it had been the older couple on another raft, they probably would have fallen overboard because we were all just so scared by his little prank. And he laughed afterwards. Didn't find it at all funny. And it took me a while for my heart rate to calm down and the adrenaline to kind of flow out of my body on what this was otherwise a very beautiful, peaceful, stress-free float and rafting trip. Anyway, it was great that we did separate. It really did work out. They did what they wanted, we did what we wanted, and we saw the most amazing waterfalls and volcanoes. But the big takeaway in this video that I really want to stress is going someplace like this at my age. We had gone with this couple to North Carolina, so I thought it was a no-brainer. We thought it was a no-brainer. But after we separated from them and went our own way and found our way to this incredible La Paz Gardens Peace Lodge and Animal Rescue Sanctuary, where we saw endangered species that had been rescued from the trades, and this was really their only way out of a life of sheer torture and death. But we went there, and they have also waterfalls There are 7 waterfalls on the property, and there was this one place where we could see 3 at one time, and it was incredible. It was just such a rush of water and the sound and the spray, and it was truly breathtaking. I know that word is overused, but there were 800 steps that we had to climb up and go down, and they were slippery. And because of my age, I wanted to make sure that I fell, because of my age, I wanted to make sure that I held on to the railing and wanted to make sure that I wasn't at no risk of falling. I didn't really feel like I ever was, but my boyfriend said, boy, wouldn't it be great if we could bring our extended family? He just became a grandpa, so and he has his mom, who is still, fortunately, very much alive. But I said to him, do you see any other kids of any age on this trail, or anybody who's older than me? And the answer was no. So I didn't really think about it before doing this, because it's just what I do, that I follow certainly his lead, and we both, I think the most important trait that we love about each other is our sense of adventure. And I never would have thought to complain about any of this in any way, because I feel so much gratitude that I was able to accomplish this lifelong dream of going to Costa Rica. Costa Rica has 120 volcanoes, 7 of them are active, and we traipsed another, I don't know how many, 800 or more steps to go to the Volcan Peos National Park, and that's where we saw an active volcano, and the steam is, even though it was pretty chilly, it was coming off of the hot water, not lava, but the hot water that was in the middle of this lagoon of the volcano. And my heart rate, because I was looking at it, tracking it on my watch, at 2 miles altitude was the same as it was about 141 beats per minute, which is about what I sustained doing a 5K race. So we climbed 12,000 steps, is what the watch finally measured at the end of that day. And it was, again, so breathtaking at the top of this volcano, where we could actually look down and see the water just steaming off the inside of the volcano. And they had signs all along the way that said, if you hear a volcano warning, just be calm and head to the nearest exit. The volcano was last really active 20 years ago, so we felt great that we didn't have to evacuate. But these were the kinds of stressors, and speaking of stressors, we also went to a couple of coffee plantations, and yes, I am back to drinking coffee just a little bit. I don't want to overdo it, because I did sample it. I mean, you're in Costa Rica, they're one of the top known countries of coffee. I was about to say top producers, but they really weren't. They had some kind of list that showed that they were kind of at the bottom of the list in terms of exporting coffee, but in terms of other countries. But nevertheless, it tasted great, and the tours were quite something, where you can actually see how the beans are removed from the plants, rinsed, and then separated and roasted with different degrees of roasting. So the more it's roasted, the less caffeine it has. So that's what is called a dark roast, short course in coffee production. But it was truly fascinating to see. We drove past the Starbucks coffee facility. We did not stop there. We went to the more local plantations, which was just so exciting. I did find that my thyroid reacted the first time I drank coffee, so I settled down the rest of the trip and didn't taste it again until the very end, when we went to the last coffee plantation. And I, of course, brought some back, and we'll see how it goes. What's really interesting, coffee has a lot of antioxidants, and some people, that's the only place to get antioxidants during the course of a day. But as you may see, I don't have any makeup on, and the vitiligo seems to be settling down. And because, if you've been following me, you know I've been working really hard at my part-time job and at Apple, and it's very rewarding. You know, I feel like I have reason to get up in the morning and go help people get little personal trainers in a box, or just, you know, have life-saving abilities on their phone or on the watch. If, you know, they were to fall, it would call 911, that kind of thing. So I love what I'm doing there, and I love that I got to go to this just on an amazing vacation with my boyfriend, and things are going well on all counts. So the stress level has really subsided in my life, and I'm wondering, because they do say vitiligo is stress related, and I'm not getting the light treatments anymore. I was going twice a week, and that was kind of stressful, because phototherapy is helpful, and so maybe that was, I've been doing that for almost 2 years, so maybe that finally kicked in. But it just seems like, as I've let go of some of these battles and just sort of have repeated that mantra, let it go, it has perhaps made my vitiligo go even more in remission. I think I shared with you that the Graves' disease, which was diagnosed as a result of hyperthyroidism, where I had all the classic symptoms, rapid heart rate, shakiness, and sudden, like, immense weight loss, like 10 pounds in 3 weeks. All of that has been reversed, and the endocrinologist said he'd never seen anybody reverse it like that, ever. So to the point where he was saying maybe it was never really Graves' disease, maybe it was just a little thyroiditis. So one of the many things I brought back, well, not many, we're trying to really simplify our life and not have so many things, but the Costa Rica and traditional weaving, we're gonna put this up as a swing hammock, and just to kind of remember the Costa Rica mantra, pura vida, pure life, natural life. You see that everywhere, and people say this to each other as in a greeting or when leaving someone, pura vida. So I'm going to leave you with that. Lead a pure life as much as you can, getting back to nature, and enjoy your cup of joe until you can't. All right, everyone, let me know if you have any questions about my travels from the pictures that I am going to share with you, or have shared with you in this video, and any tips you might want to know about how to enjoy life to the fullest to the extent you can. So many people at my, in my world come to me now with saying, like, my knees hurt, my feet hurt, my hip hurts, I can't do this, can't do that. How do you do that? And all I can say is eat foods in their natural state. And I didn't even touch on the amazing food, vegan food that we had. We did opt out of going to the vegan hotel in Costa Rica because we thought there was plenty of vegan options everywhere we went. And the fresh smoothies, oh my gosh, I got fixated on blenders. I'll have to do a video on that because every place I went, I took a picture of what blender they were using, because the smoothies, which were basically just made with fresh fruit, usually pineapple, watermelon, papaya, mangoes, and water and or plant milk, they were so frothy and fresh. So I'll do something about that, because I actually just want to share that on so many levels, because I think that's another reason maybe the vitiligo has gone into remission. All right, everyone, gotta run. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next one.